back to the IBJJF podcast. My guest today is Diego Pato. Pato is a world champion. He's a pan champion. He's also a world nogi and pan nogi champion. Pato, thanks for being here.
Thank you, bro. Let's do it.
Let's go. I want to start with your 2023 competitions. You've competed a couple times already this year. First was in
Yeah.
Paris, France at the Europeans. You ended up getting
Mhm.
second in the light feather division. You had some great matches, very, very close final with Malachi Edmond. Why don't you talk about your experience competing in Paris, France this year?
It was like it's so nice to see the European get back. I couldn't like fight on 2021, but this year I could, and then it's not like great like that I won, but it's very nice to be in Paris too. But I think I stayed too long out of the mats, like competing like, as a gi, and then I think it was a tough tournament for me on that time. And but yeah, it's time to come back. I tried to fight for Grand Slam this year, but you know, something like always happen.
So let's talk a little bit more about your final. It was a rematch of the 2021 World
Yeah.
Championship final.
hmm
Malachi's a super tough opponent. You ended up getting the submission in 2021. What were your expectations coming into that match, and what are your overall thoughts on it after it concluded?
Um, I mean, like I I tried to do my things over there, but I couldn't, and then I think I was able to to complete my all like techniques on top of him, but I couldn't finish. You know what I mean? Like I have all the things to finish. I think I messed up on the on the finals, but sometimes happen. Like congratulations to Malachi. He's really good guy and tough opponent too. But let's see on the Pan-Ams. I'm
Yeah.
ready for Pan-Ams.
Yes, you touched on already about competing a lot more this year, and you've already
hmm
competed again after the Europeans. You just did the Dallas Open. You did gi, no gi, won featherweight gold in both those divisions, and you also did
Yeah,
the Open class. So I want to hear about your
yeah,
experience in Dallas, not just in your weight class, but also in the Open.
yeah. So like after European, I put in my mind to try to active my this year like to be more active on this year. So and I talked with Professor Guilherme. He said, "Oh, let's try to fight many times you can like before the big tournaments." And then yeah, like Dallas was the first one. I did pretty well. I won the division. And the open class, I opened for on the gi. I opened for my teammate Mateus. So yeah, and then I come to the next day. I did the no gi as well, and then open class too. But I lost on the semifinals for Guilherme. And then yeah, but it was good. I always like since my blue belt, I have been fighting like open class. I really like to test myself on open class is I think it's a fun division to be in. So yeah, but my next tournament is gonna be LA on this weekend, and it's gonna be there again on the featherweight.
So you mentioned Professor Guilherme Mendez and his plan for you to compete more and get more competition experience before the major tournaments this year. So you recently announced, I believe it was in February, that you switched over to AOJ full time. Can you tell me the
Yeah,
first time you remember training over at AOJ with Professor Gee?
yeah. The first time was in last year at the World Championship on that during that time. And then my friend was here at Tyson, and then he like invited me, oh, come like to training, and say, all right, why not? And then I was like really good experience to be here, like train with them, and it's so nice. And during that time, like until now, we like you have been like contact with him, and then he always say like, oh, anytime we come to California, like let me know. Yeah, the door's open for you. Like anytime you want training, like just come up. And yeah, and then last year after ADCC, I was able to come to SoCal, and then to teaching class from one of my friends, and then I don't have like energy to training. So and then I sent a message to Professor Guilherme. Oh, what can I train like with you guys like for 2 months and two Europeans? Because I'm gonna be like in California and teaching class, and then can I train? And say yes, of course, why not? But I need to talk with Dreamer. The time I was from Dreamer, and then yeah, it was a really great experience like on the first time, and then if I was able to come like anytime here, yeah, it's that's it.
So you've trained and competed under a lot of different teams, a lot of different academies, and
Mhm,
you've been a black belt for a long time and always trained with really high level athletes and under high level coaches. What do you think
mhm.
Professor Gee and the crew over at AOJ does differently that you haven't seen at some of the other academies you've trained at?
I think he he's like different between like the other coach is I think he's what 100% with the athletes, you know. He always like looking for you like, oh, let's do this. Like I think you like doing a mistake on this time, like try to hold him more. Like he looking for you like during the training. So this make a lot of difference for me. So I never have had this like before, and then he doing this part of like coaching, like looking like my trainee, like uh, and then prepare myself like for the major tournaments. I think I think it's like a was a good idea to me to change. So and yeah, is I think that's why I like to be here in AOJ. He always like how can I say he's he's 100% for the athletes, you know. So he always like try to plan every step of your career, and then yeah, this is really great.
In my opinion, I think from the outside looking in, it appears that Gee's vision for the future is really something that makes the academy different. I know he invests a lot into
Yeah,
the different kids programs, and media is an important part of the academy too, building up the athletes' careers and making sure they can make a living from the sport. And I just want to get your comments on that. Do you feel like that's something else that really separates AOJ from other academies?
yeah. I think a lot of things, right? So like training is different. His mentality is like so focused on like on the competition, and I don't have nothing to say about like the whole support the academy have, and then like you say, the media is like really good, and then they know what they doing, so they are doing like super well, so everybody can see the difference like between like energy and around the world. So it's not like a I don't have a word to like say like oh this is like the difference, and then between this and that, just you guys need to come in and see with your eyes. Is you guys gonna see in the first days that is really different.
What changes have you made to either your technique or your mindset or your goals since joining AOJ?
um we don't have like a change many things, just like keep focus. Like professor always push me like to not be comfortable on during the training, so he always say something to me like put a goal during the training like, to do it like oh you need to finish all the rounds, you need to sweep every round, things like that. So we don't have a you don't have a yeah like a change anything, just like keeping focused, like don't waste my time during the training. Like if I'm tired, like don't stop, just keep going, and then always think like that, you know. So but it have been like I haven't seen a lot of different on my style, you know. Like my style is already like, you know, sometimes like explosive, and then always like try to looking for a submesh, and then Professor Guilherme like say he told me like, oh, you need to keep doing this because you're gonna end up on the finish. Like he always like playing something like to do, and then he have been like change a lot of my mindset.
Let's talk about the 2023 Pans. That'll be your first
Hmm.
tournament officially representing AOJ as a
Yeah.
competitor. You've won this event before as a black belt, but this division is going to be really, really tough this year. You got guys like Mayra Malvez, Diogo
Hmm.
Hayes, some newer black belts too, Zach Kina, Mario
Yeah.
Alvarado. What do you think about the light feather division and just how it's grown and evolved even since you've been a black belt?
Uh, I think since I won the last pens, it don't change much. It's like these guys they already like a black belt that time, but they don't compete. I don't know why, but you know, and I I'm not gonna see any different between the division. So I think I'm happy because always if I see like somebody like Neo during like the division or on the black belt, it's very like I feel like happy to compete against them because they always challenge me. Like to not for me not feel myself like comfortable during the class the division.
Yeah.
So see like Alvarado is like doing well too. He compete Pan Ams. He did a good fight, and I saw him. I'm probably gonna compete against him like on this weekend too. So I went forward with Mira and Diogo Hayes too. I'm not like a feel nine, just like I'm preparing myself for pants. So I think I have different from this guy because I have a guard is I think my different from the division is that because both of them they make the pass guard, right? So I think it's gonna be a good match between us.
Can you talk specifically about matches between Mayrum and Diogo? I think those are
Hmm.
guys that are definitely at the top of the division. Mayrum is a world and pan champion. Diogo's a
Yeah.
Brazilian national champion. You've had a couple matches with them. Very tough guys. They've been very close matches. How do you feel about those matches going forward? And what are some things that you could potentially do differently in your mind to get the wins in those matches?
Uh, I think with Mira, I haven't been training with him, so we I think we know each other. So I know how he's like dangerous to me, and then he knows how I'm dangerous for him. So I think we're gonna prepare yourself for this, and then I wanna go to for submission, and then if I cannot do it, I'm gonna try to put my whole game on that mat, and yeah, just like waiting for fans, like we cannot like talk, oh, it's gonna be this or that, like this, and we need just like waiting and do it. And against Diogo, I'm I'm I mean usually like I'm not thinking about them. I'm just doing by my training like by myself, like with Professor. We are playing like training. We are training for everybody. Is like I don't have like a specific thing for him or for Miriam. So yeah, but I know him. I know him like his best is really good, but I'm already like I ready for him. I feel comfortable with that. So, but now I'm gonna of course I'm gonna try to do things a little bit more, like try to attack more, like try to sweep him the things, like try to find the finish. So yeah, let's see what happens over there.
I know you've talked about wanting to compete as much as you can. Can you share some of the plans you have for the rest of 2023 following the Pans?
Yeah, I want to compete like at Pens. Of course, I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna compete this weekend, and after Pens, a lot of opens too from IBJJF, and then Brazilian nationals and worlds. And then after that, of course, I'm gonna continue like, competing like the opens around the USA. I think my year is gonna be like this, just competing.
That's amazing. Well, you're always one of everyone's favorite competitors to watch. You're always exciting, always going for the submission. It's very, very fun watching you compete. So, do you have anything else you wanted to touch on or anything you wanted to say before we wrap up the podcast?
Yeah, I want to say thank you, everybody, like my sponsor, my family, my teammates. Um, yeah, just waiting. You guys gonna see another Pato, different Pato, like during the competition. And I hope you guys like it, like during the tournament. And stay tuned.
Thank you again, Pato, for your time. You guys can watch him compete at the Pan Ams. It starts March 21st, runs through Sunday the 26th with the Black Belt Finals, and you can watch that exclusively on Flow Grappling. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll see you guys soon.